week number 5 in the Absolute Basics of Christianity. I am Pastor Pete, obviously, and this week we're talking about evangelism. Last week we talked about what it means to be a disciple, and I will submit to you today and this week that it is impossible to be a disciple of Jesus without being an evangelist as well. And I don't mean you have to quit your job and go on the road as a full-time evangelist. I don't think God intends that for His people either. And some people are definitely better at evangelism than others. Some people have certain spiritual giftings, which we're going to get to in a few weeks, that lend themselves more towards evangelism. But everybody is called, everybody in God's kingdom, every disciple is called to share their faith. You've already studied and learned the Great Commission in Matthew chapter 28, which clearly says we are to go and make disciples. That involves evangelism. It involves winning people to Christ. This week, your memory verse talks about going into the world and preaching the good news to all creation. Again, and this is a command for everybody. It's not just a command for the preachers or the priests or the professional ministers. It's not just a command for the deacon or the elder or the lay pastor. It's a command for you, and it's something you need to do. If I was to ask you the question, when was the last time you shared your faith? And I don't mean in a roundabout way. I don't mean beating the bush. I don't mean that you just kind of mentioned it one day in passing to a coworker or a friend on the street. When was the last time you shared your testimony, or when was the last time you shared the 4 spiritual laws, or when was the last time you got out an evangelism cube and went through the gospel? When was the last time you shared the gospel with somebody with the expressed intent of winning them to the Lord? For most people, it's probably been a long time. And we don't share our faith for a lot of different reasons. It's scary, it's uncomfortable, we don't feel like we're good at it. Maybe we've had bad results in the past when we've tried to share our faith. But I believe the main reason most of us don't share our faith is because we don't know how. And we're afraid. What if they ask me a question that I don't know the answer to? And what if they call me out and just bring up something in my past or something in my life that isn't kosher with Christianity? And what if I look like a hypocrite then? But the fact of the matter is, if we're living our lives the way we're supposed to as disciples, as we've talked about in previous weeks, and if we're studying our Bibles, and if we're doing the things that God calls us to do as disciples, we should be able to effectively share our faith. So this week is really not a lot about knowledge. We're going to look at the Bible. We're going to look at what it says about evangelism. We're going to make a case for the fact that everybody needs to be out there sharing their faith. But the main thing I want you to do this week is to learn how to share your faith. We're going to talk about a very, very simple way for you to share your testimony. It is the most effective evangelism tool that I personally use. And I've used a lot of them. They're all good. There's lots of great evangelism methods and tools out there. And you may have another one that works best for you. But this is the one I found that works best for me. And I've seen work in the lives of just lay people. It allows you to just share your testimony. You don't need a bunch of memory verses. You don't even need a Bible to do it. You just share your testimony from your heart, and it makes a huge impact on people's lives. And we're going to even see some examples from the Bible where some people that you're going to recognize use this exact method as well. So it's a biblical method and a biblical way to share your faith. Do the study, concentrate on the memory verse, and I want you to keep your eyes open this week for opportunities to share your faith, opportunities to share your testimony. And I hope that when you meet with your small group next, that you'll have a story or a testimony about sharing and witnessing with somebody that you'll be able to tell those in your group, and y'all will be able to rejoice together over what God has done through your life. And don't just look for them this week. Continue as you walk and as you follow Christ as a disciple. Continue to look for opportunities to share your faith with those around you. This week will be a great week for you if you will focus on it, and if you will try it, and if you will attempt to do the thing that Christ has called us all to do, and that is to go out and witness to the world and preach the good news to all creation. Again, I'm Pastor Pete, and if you need to get in touch with me, feel free to do so at pastorpete.org. Enjoy the study, and give me any feedback you may have. We'll talk to you soon.